As the adults head back to Boise, they make a detour in Glacier National Park. In part 3 of this film, follow along as Jayme and Ben explore one of the most beautiful parks in the country. Enjoy our tribe life. Can I redo that?
Let me tell you this, the older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
So we headed back south and drove back across the border, turned on our phones. We're realizing how much we actually use our phones for a lot of things. That was sort of a relief. We headed back down south and we were going to stay in Montana.
We didn't end up arriving into Glacier until 11:30, midnight, 1 o'clock, I don't remember. But we were a little nervous that we weren't going to be able to get our tent.
Check-in was supposed to be by 9:30, so we were a little concerned because we weren't really going to get there till midnight. We weren't able to actually call them until we crossed the border, which is like 4 hours. So we finally were able to call them, and we got a hold of somebody that was running the front desk. I don't remember his name, but he was incredibly helpful. He said it was no problem, that he was going to be there all night. He would wait for us.
He met us at the side of the road, and our hotel room tent was freaking awesome.
All right, we made it back across the border, and where are we?
Glacier National Park.
And we chose, what is this campground called? I forget. Glacier Under Canvas. Yes, and check this out. This is super dope. There's all these tents. You get teepees or these luxury type tents all set up, ready for you. And there's this gigantic bed that was super, super comfortable. And reading lights. And a wood stove, which we didn't need to use because it was so warm. And look, wine. Little sitting area. This place is dope.
Woke up the next morning and decided that we had to extend our stay because
there was no way we could leave, and we needed to stay a whole day in Glacier. So we actually extended our trip by 1 day.
we just had to stay.
The next morning we woke up, we had a great night's sleep, and we went down to the front desk. We actually arrived in Glacier without too many plans. We knew we'd probably figure it out once we got there what we want to do. So we talked to the girl that was working there, and she pulled out a map and was very knowledgeable, and she said, these are the things that normal tourists do, and these are the things that I would recommend.
She gave us the going to the Sun Road. She said that we really needed to do that. I think that's in a lot of movies.
It was an all-day trip. It's about 50 miles on a road that is the most incredible sight you'll ever see.
They talked about how treacherous the road was, which it's not treacherous at all. It is 100% safe. I felt zero afraid of the road, but it's a sheer cliff here and the mountains right here, and there's tons of waterfalls, and everyone is just creeping along. You can't be in a hurry going on it because there's no point to go any faster than 15 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour tops. Every turn is a postcard. It was fantastic. We stopped
so many times just because we were so in awe of the waterfalls and the glaciers, the mountains, the trees. It was just like mind-blowing.
And then we went up to Mini Glacier and parked and did this really cool hike. About 5 miles in, and you hike up to a glacier. I think we stopped just a little bit before the end of the hike because a waterfall from the glacier was right in the path.
And
the water was super cold, and we stuck our heads in it, and it felt awesome to do something like that. But we didn't want to go any further because the cameras were going to get wet. That hike was just crazy. 2 glacier lakes, and the colors of the water just blew my mind. The wildflowers that were growing were just, it was like it was a movie set, or I don't know, I can't describe it. It was just incredible.
And we hiked back the 5 miles. We were tired and hot and hungry, but we ended up doing it. And we got back to the car, and we were looking forward to going back, seeing the gorgeous sunset, and having a delicious dinner. Everybody was stopped. You couldn't figure out what was going on. All of a sudden we see this bear running around the side of the mountain. And it ran so close to the car. We got lots of pictures, wanted to get out, but didn't think that was safe. And it was amazing. And then we headed back to town. We got into town about 9:30 or 10. So the next day, we got up in the morning, and we decided to do the more off the beaten path suggestion.
Where are we going?
Polbridge. She had told us there's a town called Polbridge, and it was completely off the grid, ran on solar power, but it had the most delicious bakery ever.
Decided to skip breakfast and just drive straight to Polbridge, and she was not lying. This place is freaking awesome.
Big red market with people kind of milling around in this town that was just, solar panels everywhere.
The interesting thing was I saw a ton of satellite dishes, so I don't know how off the grid they actually are.
And went into this bakery, and the smell was amazing. So many choices of pastries and breakfast items, and something we don't typically eat, so it was a huge treat. We decided to pick the Huckleberry bear claw, and then we also got a turkey sandwich, I believe, and we shared it.
I want to go back. The bear claw that we had for dessert after we had the most delicious sandwich I've ever had. Yeah, that place is really, really good. After Polbridge, we drove to Bowman Lake. That road was crazy. It was a single lane road, and I thought several times that maybe we had taken a wrong turn because it seemed so remote.
And we got into this lake, and it was beautiful. We decided that we would take a short hike around Bowman Lake. We didn't have a whole lot of time because we really needed to get back.
Went for about a mile, 0.7 miles in.
There's signs everywhere that tell you there is bears. There really is bears. You need to be careful. They will eat you. They will bite you. They want your food. So we were watching for bears. We never saw any on the trail, which we were probably sort of glad but sort of bummed. It was amazing. It was a fun trip. You never really know what you're going to get. We don't plan too much. We just sort of ride with it and let it go. It was amazing seeing the kids. It was fun to get to sort of break up the summer and hug them, kiss them, and spend time with them and get frustrated by them and love on them. And spend some time with them. It was also fun to get to see Glacier. It's always sort of surreal to get to go do something without kids because it doesn't happen very often. So to get to go to kind of wander around, do some adult hikes and spend some time together and just see some amazing things that, you know, you can't really put in words was awesome. We had a really great trip.